You know, I've been thinking a lot about how we define classic cars these days.
Yeah?
It's not as straightforward as it used to be.
Absolutely. It's interesting that cars from the 80s are now considered classics.
Right.
Who would have thought?
I mean, every car from that decade is over 30 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
It's about time we expanded our definition.
So, it's not just about pre-70s muscle cars
Exactly.
anymore. The landscape of classic cars is really changing.
And it's bringing in a whole new generation of enthusiasts.
Right.
People who grew up in the 70s and 80s are feeling nostalgic too.
It's funny to think that the cars we once saw as just old are now coveted classics.
Yeah.
It's like we're redefining what nostalgia means.
Totally. And with that comes the rise of restomodding.
Restomodding?
What's that all about?
It's when you take a classic car and update it with modern performance and comfort.
Oh, I see.
So, you keep the classic look, but with today's tech.
Exactly. It's
Got it.
becoming a huge trend in the classic car market.
Makes sense. Not everyone wants to deal with the quirks of an old engine.
Right.
And modern comforts make the driving experience so much better.
Plus, younger owners are more open to blending old and new. They've grown up with technology, so integrating it feels natural.
Speaking of younger owners, they're changing the game, aren't they?
Absolutely.
They're more connected, using the internet to learn skills and shop for parts.
And they're forming online communities to share their passion.
Right.
It's a whole new way of engaging with the hobby.
Do you think this shift is making the classic car scene more accessible?
Definitely.
Information is more available, and people can easily find resources.
But I wonder, is this affecting the traditional aspects of the hobby? In what way?
Well, some purists might feel that modernizing classics dilutes their authenticity.
That's a fair point.
But I think it's all about personal preference.
True. There's room for both pure restoration and restomods.
Exactly.
It's about keeping the passion for classics alive.
And let's be honest, not everyone has the budget for a pristine 60s model.
Right.
Mid-70s and 80s classics are more affordable entry points.
So, the market is responding to this demand?
Yep.
There's a growing opportunity with these emerging classics.
And parts availability is adapting too, isn't it?
Exactly.
Owners are sourcing parts from a variety of channels now.
From local shops to online marketplaces and even salvage yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mix of traditional and modern methods.
And they're not just buying, they're also learning and connecting online.
Right.
The internet has become a crucial tool for classic car owners.
But they still value expert advice from professionals.
Definitely.
Trust is a big factor when it comes to maintaining these vehicles.
Most owners do a mix of DIY and professional work, don't they?
Yes.
They'll tackle some projects themselves and leave the rest to trusted shops.
It makes sense. Not everyone has the tools or skills for every job.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's just more efficient to hire a professional.
But doing the work themselves adds a sense of pride, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing like fixing up your own car.
And it's not just about saving money, it's also about
Right.
the enjoyment and learning new skills.
So, with all these changes, where do you see the classic car market heading?
Well, it's definitely
Restomodding is on the
evolving,
rise, and the definition of what's classic is expanding.
and the industry is adapting to meet these new demands.
Exactly.
It's an exciting time for both enthusiasts and businesses.
Do you think the passion for classics will continue with future generations?
I believe so.
As long as there's nostalgia, there will be interest.
And as definitions change, more people can find their own version of a classic car. It's becoming more inclusive.
It's like the classic car hobby is growing up with us,
Yeah, it's evolving just
embracing
like
new
we are.
technology while honoring the past.
So, whether you're into a 50s Chevy or an 80s BMW, there's a place for you. The
Absolutely.
classic car community is broader than ever.
And that's something to celebrate. It's an
Couldn't agree
exciting
more.
time to be part of this world.
So, are you thinking of getting a new classic yourself? That
Maybe I
79 Trans Am is calling my name.
Haha, go for it.
I just might.
Time to join the Restomod movement.
Well, whatever you choose, it's all about passion and enjoyment. That's what
Exactly.
keeps the spirit of classic cars alive.
Here's to the next chapter in the classic car story.
Cheers to
Can't
that.
wait to see where it goes.